We'll meet some of the artists featured at Art Imitating Life.
We'll have highlights from the 2019 Black History Month program.
And we'll learn about Many Helping Hands' mission to help the homeless.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Hello everyone and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Stevens.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman. Always so glad to have Susan in the co-host chair. Okay, so I do have to ask, the Oscars were last night.
Yes.
What was your biggest surprise?
Gosh, I gotta say, I think the biggest surprise to everyone, because Glenn Close has basically sweeped award season, we all thought she was gonna get Best Actress.
Yeah.
And when they said Olivia Colman for The Favorite, she was even so shocked, which actually allowed her to give one of the most genuine acceptance speeches and probably made her adored even more.
Yeah,
but
people love Olivia Colman, it's true.
It was a really good speech, and I honestly, I've loved Lady Gaga since day one, and I'm really happy that she won her Oscar for Shallow, which you called right away, right after, and boy, was that a phenomenal performance she had with Bradley Cooper. I'm gonna need to rewatch that a few times.
Yeah, I think I might have to too.
And then I'm just really happy it was a shocker about Best Picture winner. Everyone thought it was gonna be Roma. It was Green Book.
Yeah, and you called that one.
And I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Yeah, all right, so a good Oscars this year.
Good Oscars.
And hopefully some really good movies coming out over this next year so we can be excited about next year's too.
Looking forward.
Well, glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
And so glad that you guys are here. We've got news for you on Cynthia Will's latest film project.
We've also got news on Irving ISD's excellent preschool program and a job fair sponsored by the Irving Carrollton NAACP.
As always, we'd love to hear from you. So let us know about a community event you'd like to promote on the show or a story that you'd like to see.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you.
And speaking of making your voice heard, Irving Parks and Recreation has several original wood-carved statues created by Irving artist Ray Bonda, the Texas Chainsaw Carver. The mascots are ready for their new homes in Irving's parks and city facilities, but first, these mascots need names. So play the name game Irving style and vote for your favorites. Vote online at cityofirving.org by Friday, March 15th. Go to cityofirving.org and click the link Help Name Irving's New Mascots on the homepage.
The Irving Black Arts Council brought artists and art lovers together for their annual exhibition celebrating Black History Month. Here are some highlights. Art Imitating Life was this year's theme for the annual Irving Black Arts Council exhibition, held at the Irving Arts Center.
Today we are celebrating African American History Month here in Irving, and they are spotlighting local artists from the DFW area.
The reception, which honored Black History Month, featured work by 8 different artists.
I have a couple different things going on. I have some abstract pieces, and then I have some more poppy type pieces, which if I had to categorize, I would say they're Afro-futuristic, and same with the abstract pieces as well. So I have some of my favorite jazz musicians, which is Sun Ra and Pharoah Sanders, and then I have Prince that I did a portrait of, and I also did some sculpture and some beadwork.
I go from place to place in my area and around the United States and create paintings that I feel would be pleasing for others to view, to make them aware of the different things in our world.
My artwork comes from years of growing up in South Louisiana. I've always been interested in vintage photographs, so what I do is I take a lot of old family photos and I incorporate them in my artwork.
Not every artist was there that night. 2 of them were represented by their wives.
I happen to be one that's representing my husband, Othello Beck Jr., who passed away in 2004. He painted about life in African American culture in the late 1960s through the 70s, during the Civil Rights Movement, where you did not see African American images in magazines or on billboards or in books, even in the schools. So he wanted to provide his culture with art that looked like them.
Frank's art goes in a couple of different directions. He's got the collages, right now, his favorite series is a black and white series made with shoe polish and whatever else he chooses to put in.
Other artists in attendance were Gwen Powell and Evita Tizano. It was an evening of celebration as people gathered and admired the eclectic pieces, ultimately sharing their love of art.
I like art, especially African American art, because it portrays our past experiences up to what's going on today.
It's a necessity for me. I have to create. I love art. This is our legacy, you know. This is, it dates back to ancient times. I mean, this is what we're preserving a language, we're preserving history, we're preserving, you know, just a culture, and I couldn't be more proud to do that.
I'm just thankful that I come from a family of artists, and I'm a part of that legacy. My grandfather was an artist, my parents are musicians, so it's just genetically who I am.
We need to, as people in general, we need to support the arts, because that is where our hope and our future and a lot of our knowledge lies. If you not be careful, you might learn something.
Art Imitating Life brought a taste of culture and history to the community. For About Town, this is Susan Stevens. You can still catch the exhibit Art Imitating Life at the Irving Arts Center main gallery, but hurry, the exhibit closes March 3rd.
Irving filmmaker Cynthia Wills and author Dr. Simone Brown bring us news on a new film.
Cynthia and Dr. Simone are here to bring us the details.
Ladies, it's great to see you.
Always good to be here.
Thank
you for the invite.
So excited
thank
to hear about this collaboration and this partnership, but before we launch into that, I do have to ask, Content of Character did so well for you. Standing room only at the Carpenter, and now it's playing somewhere else. What's going on with
It's been all over the country,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in South Carolina this weekend. They honored me. The state of South Carolina gave me an accomplishment, an achievement award for writing and producing Content of Character, and the city of Spartanburg, which is in the book, made February 15th Cynthia Reed Wheels Day.
Well, all right.
I got a day.
You have a day. I think that's fantastic. So glad to know the content has done so well.
It's done
for
well.
you.
Thank you so much. It's done very well and still doing well.
That's
it
great.
really
So
is.
What is the title of your new project and what is it about?
This project is called Beneath the Scar, and it has a subtitle, even though the title of the movie is Beneath the Scar, but it has Rise to Healing. And it is a story about a young woman who goes away to college. She comes from an affluent family, and she goes away to college, and while she's there, she gets into an abusive relationship.
Oh.
So it's abuse, but it's healing. We show how she comes out of it, which is, I think, one of the greatest aspects of this book.
All right, wonderful. So, Dr. Simone, you are the author of this book.
Yes.
And give us a little bit of background on the story, why you decided to write it.
Well, I wrote the story as a way to heal myself. I am a survivor. In fact, I was similar to the character in college. I had situations that I was in an abusive situation in college with a boyfriend. And it was my way of bringing forth healing for myself. And I hope to make it that others are healed as well. And if I can save just one life,
That's right.
I think it would be all worth
It would be
it. So
great.
that was the inspiration for Beneath the Scar, Rise to Healing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that is
It's a
great.
great story.
Yeah, and you have a great production name as well. Can you tell us where it kind of came from?
Well, actually, my grandmother raised me, and I have two beautiful daughters. And Two Brown Girls in a Dime production comes from my two daughters. Their last name's Brown, okay? And the dime part comes from my grandmother. She used to say, the day of my wedding day, she said, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a dime in your shoe. And she actually gave me a dime to put in my shoe on my wedding day.
That's a good grandmother.
That is.
Yes, she's wonderful.
I forgot to ask you, how did you two come up with this collaboration?
Oh my, oh my.
Tell her.
Someone, a mutual person, a coworker of mine, just kept telling me that I needed to meet Cynthia Reed Wills. I was like, who is this lady? She said, I've got to put you together. I've got to put you together. And it happened. And it's been magical ever since.
And we met, and she had written a book. At that time I was doing content, and so I was so distracted. And she said, "Well, just read my book." So I buy a copy of the book, and I go home and put it on the dresser. And a year later, I pick it up, and I think, I'm going to read this. I'm going to finally read it. And I read it. But what I liked about it, it was about abuse, and abuse is a very touchy, we know, subject right now. But it was more than about abuse. It's more than just the man-woman style thing. This person's life, Dr. Brown managed to carve a life of one character, but that it touched abuse on so many levels. And I thought that was an interesting aspect of abuse.
And a lot of meat for a film, so that's great. I mean, it's always a devastating story, but the difference in yours is that you not just survived, you thrived.
Yes.
And that's a great story to put on film.
Yes.
So when can we see it?
All right, it's showtime. It's showtime. Y'all know I'm good at that.
Oh, yeah.
The red carpet event, the premiere of Beneath the Scar, March 3rd at the Irving Arts Center, 2 o'clock, red carpet event. All the gowns, the tuxedos, the whole thing, Kathy, just like we did with content.
I love it.
And then the movie actually starts at 3:30, and of course, it's going to be very gala, very, very nice, very beautifully done. So we're excited about being at Irving again, and that staff up there is awesome. So we just look forward to it.
They are amazing.
Great.
So I'm going to just throw in that it's also going to show at the Angelica.
Oh yeah, we'll be at the Angelica right after that on the 21st and the 28th. And I want to even say that my husband's company, which is Unlimited Arts of Dallas, was in association with the two Brown girls. And so this was his debut, and this is my directorial debut. Dr. Brown allowed me to direct this one. And so I'm just very, very proud to be the director of Beneath the Scar.
This is a great project. So glad to have you both here today. Folks, you can see Beneath the Scar, the world premiere.
Yes.
Red carpet starts at 2 p.m. March 3rd at the Irving Arts Center, and the film will show at 3:30 p.m. Irving businessman Victor Abraham had a compelling vision to bring the story of Australian missionary Graham Staines to the big screen. That dream was realized with the premiere of The Least of These on January 31st. Susan talked with Abraham and the creative team, and she brings us a look at this film.
The red carpet was packed during the premiere of The Least of These, the Graham Staines story, which was produced by Irving resident Victor Abraham. The film is based on a true story set in rural India. It follows a journalist who plans to expose Australian missionary Graham Staines, as he believes Graham is illegally converting his leprosy patients to Christianity.
Bring me evidence of illegal conversion. I'll give you a permanent position.
We sat down with the stars and filmmakers to discuss production and Graham's story.
Is he?
Staines.
It's a transition from fiction to truth. And then they will want to know what all Graham has done. I'm sure everybody will go back to their computer, go to Wikipedia and trying to see what Graham has done. Many one of them has done that.
Yeah.
So we'd like audience to just go and see, watch it, and then pass it on to their friends and tell them that these kind of films should be made, because this kind of film challenges people. It challenges each one of us to walk an extra mile.
What was the biggest takeaway you've taken from working on this movie?
For me, it was an amazing experience to really get people from different worldviews on one platform, right from the production team to our distribution to our PR and our whole team basically coming together and being able to share, to have fellowship and to bring different views and putting all this together. And it is, we didn't do anything negative. It was all positive. We took it in a positive light, and that is the whole message. Like I said, it is a powerful message of love, hope, and forgiveness.
It's a powerful movie. I think the movie too, just, filming it back in 2015 and then looking at what's happening today, and culturally today, what's going on, I think as well, we really do look at like a movie like this can touch people on so many different levels.
The law states that no person shall convert or attempt to convert any person from one religious faith to another. And yet not one missionary has been charged.
We can't make any mistakes. They have this law for a reason.
I know. We must pray.
You were a spiritual advisor on here. Can you kind of talk about and I know you were also in the movie, but can you talk about your role as far as being on this project?
Within the confines of the story, I myself am a convert. So when you look at the movie and the whole story about it, it resonated with me of what Graham was accused of. Because I know when I went through that process, nobody had forced me or nobody, I mean, it was just an awakening that goes through. So I was able to give that kind of a side to all the people involved in the project of understanding what this issue, which has such toxicity in the lexicon, means.
Farmers are leaving their lands and families. But do the missionaries ever get the blame for this?
Actually, they sends out a good message. Teaches the Christians a lesson.
What does expendability mean?
Well, that's when you do something and some people think it doesn't matter.
Right about the work, not about me.
You guys have been working on this for 5 years. How does it feel to finally have it premiered and you're about to get some audience reactions?
Well, I'm waiting. That is, I mean...
Well, I mean, it's bittersweet. You're always looking for, and one of the people we admire says, you know, the loneliest place in the world is when you think something will deliver, and when you get there, you're afraid it may not. Yeah. As much as we are poured into it, I think we are exhausted, but in a kind of an exhilarating way. We've given everything we have. As Victor said, he left no stone unturned in the production. It is top notch. It will rival anything out there. Being natives of India, for all the folks in Irving watching this who are natives of India, go see this movie because it will bring your native land in a light like you have never seen before in Western cinema.
And I like to tell the audience, bring your tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring your multiple tissues, I should say.
You can still write the truth.
What is the truth?
The Bible says God created us from the dust of the earth, dust for dust.
The Least of These, the Graham Staines story, is a heartbreaking and touching film about the power of forgiveness. For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
Unfounded fear prevents the people from doing good.
And what you do is good?
You can catch The Least of These in an exclusive engagement at the AMC Grapevine Mills 30. Many studies show that early childhood education creates a firm foundation to support students throughout their academic careers.
Jennifer Dixon, principal at Pierce Early Childhood School, joins us with the details on Irving ISD's excellent preschool program. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time to be here today.
Sure, absolutely.
I know that things are starting to gear up and people will have questions because it's almost time for registration.
Yes.
But for folks who may have young kids at home and they think, my child's almost ready, give us a little overview of the programs that Irving has for pre-Ks.
Okay, great. So we have 3 early childhood campuses in Irving ISD. You have Clifton, Kincaid, and Pierce. So it just gives kids an advantage to be exposed to education at an early age. So 4-year-olds can come in and learn all about school, what school's like, in a really creative, fun learning environment.
Yeah. So what is the difference between a pre-K program and daycare?
Well, and our pre-K programs are all staffed with fully certified teachers in every classroom. We have 11-to-1 ratios, so we have a teacher and an aide in every class, and they are truly following the pre-K guidelines outlined by the Texas Education Agency.
Okay, so obvious educational advantages there too, but there've got to be also some little social kind of advantages.
Yes, it's so good for kids this age to develop their oral language development. They learn to make friends, they grow in their social emotional learning, so they learn to interact in positive ways with each other. And then, they explore the outdoor learning classrooms, they go to the library every day, their parents have a chance to come to school and take classes, so it's a really fun environment.
Yeah, that is great.
So what is a day like for Irving pre-K students?
So our kids can come, they have breakfast in the classroom, and then they are exposed to math, to literacy, to science and social studies. They visit the library, they check out books every day, they have recess, the physical development, gross motor skills are so important this age, and so they go outside and they play, they explore, and just do a variety of activities, whether it's action-based learning in the cafeteria or engaging read-alouds with their teachers, and they're practicing writing and working in their journals, so it's just a great day.
Okay, this just sounds so adorable.
It does.
And this is coming from a woman who desperately wants grandchildren, so I just want to come and read to your kids
You
at school.
absolutely can. That would be amazing.
Well, I tell you, it sounds like the program is really wonderful. wonderful, and I know a lot of our viewers are going to be over their ears to find out, okay, so how do I get my kid involved? What do parents need to know?
So in order to qualify for pre-kindergarten, your child needs to be 4 years old by September 1st. So September 1st of 2019. And so we have a half-day program that's free, and parents qualify for that either through income, through speaking a language other than English, if their parents are active military duty, or if the children have been involved in foster care on any level.
Wow.
They qualify for our free half-day program. We also offer a full-day Head Start program, so there's separate rules for that, but also income-based. And then we also offer a tuition-based program on each of the 3 campuses. And so that's a bargain because you can pay for full-day program for $100 a week.
Oh, that's
great. That's stunning.
Yes, it is.
Stunning.
It's amazing. And then in the full day program, they get breakfast, they get lunch, they get snack.
Oh, wow.
In addition to all their academics, and then we offer free after school supervision.
Yeah.
Until 5.
That is cheaper than daycare.
That is so much cheaper than daycare.
It's a bargain. Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's great news that you shared with us, and we appreciate hearing all of it. So, folks, if you've got a little one at home and you think, my 4-year-old is ready for school, or my kid who's going to be 4 by September 1st, registration starts on April 1st. So you can visit irvingisd.net/pre-K for more information.
Many Helping Hands is a ministry designed to help the homeless, one meal at a time. But the meal is only the beginning. Kathy was on location at a recent dinner, and she brings us this story.
Every Thursday, we open up the doors at 4:30. Our people can come in and get coffee, get warmed up or whatever, cool, whatever the season is. When we first started, there was no hot meal, no place for them to get coats or blankets or anything like that. So we started the ministry so we could help meet the needs of Irving homeless.
They named the ministry Many Helping Hands and held their first event in December of 2012. They have fed the homeless every Thursday since. But they provide much more than a meal.
We set up a clothes closet. We have barbers for haircuts. We do Bible study. We have licensed therapists that provide counseling if they need counseling. We have a book lady that gives out books. They love it. We have a needs list lady that takes her specific needs and emails it out to our community.
You can put your basic needs on the needs list. I want a couple people to throw out to me, what's a basic need? Shoes.
We also give out tents and blankets and backpacks once a year. Of course, the food. Hygiene, we give out hygiene, socks, and underwear and toilet paper every week.
It's a tall order to fill within 2 short hours once a week, but the small army of volunteers is efficient and dedicated. On this particular evening, there's even more on the schedule.
It's required once a year to do a homeless count.
The homeless count is a nationwide count that must be conducted within the last 10 days of January.
It happened to be on Thursdays, and all the homeless were at Many Helping Hands.
We choose to partner with Many Helping Hands, not only because they're a partner, but they do feed the homeless on this particular night.
So the last 4 years, the count has been more accurate for Irving because they were able to come to Many Helping Hands.
City employees and community volunteers conduct surveys on site, but there's also additional outreach.
Teams of 3 to 4 will go out to different parts of the city and do a count at where the homeless are or where they are staying the night tonight.
Teams are trained at City Hall and then head to designated areas to conduct the surveys. The data collected will help in the decision-making process.
We look to see if our funds are going to the correct places. Is there more of a need that's not being met in the community, such as beds or community services? So by using this data, we know what our community needs.
Lana knows firsthand the challenges of homelessness.
Number one, self-esteem, shame, being dirty, people look at you differently because you're homeless.
And she knows it's a problem that won't be solved easily. But every meal served and every need met is one step closer.
We feed them at the table, so they have some dignity. So they call us their restaurant, and we're their family.
Lana has big goals for the organization, including a day resource center. Until then, Many Helping Hands changes lives one meal at a time.
We have people that come back even after they get apartments just because they love the fellowship. So it's pretty amazing.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
If you'd like to help Many Helping Hands with their mission, visit their website, manyhelpinghands.org. If you'd like to assist with the count next January, be sure to tune in to About Town for details.
The Irving Carrollton branch of the NAACP is hosting a diversity career fair on Tuesday, March 5th.
Catherine Butler joins us with the details on the event. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It is great to see you and great to hear about this event that's coming up. So for folks who are not aware of the term, could you explain to us what is the Diversity Career Fair?
Absolutely. The Diversity Career Fair, Irving is known for the largest diversity in the state. And so diversity is just that. We got different vendors, career companies that are coming out to a platform for employers and employees to meet together, anywhere from corporate to warehouse. So diversity of that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what kind of employers do you expect to be represented there?
We have different ones. We have the Irving Police Department. We have the Carrollton Police Department. Each one of them have a different departments that are coming in. We also have Atmos Energy. We have Genesee Wyoming Railroads. We also have Amazon. It's a diversity. There's something for everybody to come out and enjoy and to see.
Well, it's an opportunity, to learn what employers are out there, what kinds of people that they're looking for, which is critical. We've got a great job market right now.
Absolutely.
And people are looking for qualified candidates. So, any tips for those candidates as they come in to distinguish themselves?
Absolutely. Come with plenty of resumes. Come dressed to impress. Come with the knowledge and being open-minded, because you just never know. You may come in focusing on one particular employer, but there may be somebody else out there that's looking and that's a match for you. So definitely come to impress and with plenty of resumes.
All right. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. So how do people register for this?
Absolutely no registration. It's free and open to the public.
Great. Right. Easy enough.
Free, potential for getting a job. This sounds like a real win-win situation.
Absolutely.
You mentioned earlier that the City of Irving is a sponsor on the event.
Yes, they are we partnered up with them, and so the City of Irving is our sponsor for this event, and so we're excited about that.
All right, fantastic. Well, folks, we want you to know that the NAACP Diversity Career Fair, sponsored by the City of Irving and hosted by the Irving Carrollton branch of the NAACP, is on Tuesday, March 5th. Starts at 9 a.m., lasts till 1 p.m. at the Irving Arts Center. And here are some other exciting events happening about town. The Irving Arts Center and the Dallas Heritage Village have teamed up to bring the Slave Dwelling Project to North Texas. Starting February 28th, join project founder Joe McGill for his talk, Changing the Narrative. That's Thursday, February 28th at 7 p.m. in the Dupree Theater, and events will continue through March 3rd. Visit irvingartscenter.com for more details.
The entertainment series of Irving continues with their 2018-2019 season with pianist Ilya Yakushev in concert Saturday, March 2nd at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall.
Comedian, animator, and seasoned YouTuber Alex Clark brings his national tour, A Lotta Nada Tour, to Irving on Saturday, March 2nd at 8 p.m. in the Dupree Theater.
And get your preschooler ready to read at Jumpstart Stories and Art. The fun kicks off at 10 a.m. on Thursday, March 7th in Suite 200 at the Irving Arts Center. The theme for this month's celebration of art and reading is Happy Birthday, Dr. Seuss. For tickets to all these events at the Irving Arts Center, call 972-252-ARTS. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time when we'll bring you a preview of Night of the Iguana, the next show in the main stage Irving Las Colinas season.
We'll also have highlights from the Imagine You conference and Irving's Got Talent.
We'll leave you tonight with another look at I Am Living Black History. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Stevens. Have a great evening.